Ladies and gentlemen, football fans everywhere, buckle up because we got a bombshell dropping in the NFL world today that's got everyone talking, especially here in the Big Apple. Imagine this. Saquon Barkley, the explosive running back who once lit up MetLife Stadium like a fireworks show on the 4th of July, spilling the beans on why he bolted from the New York Giants. And get this, it's all coming out in a brand new documentary, premiering on the very same day the Giants host Barkley and his new squad, the Philadelphia Eagles, for Thursday Night Football. Talk about perfect timing. Is this revenge served cold, or just a guy speaking his truth? Let's dive right in and break it all down because this story has layers, drama, and implications that could shake up the NFC East. First off, for those who might be new to the Giants saga or just tuning in, let's set the scene. Saquon Barkley was drafted by the Giants back in 2018 as the second overall pick, straight out of Penn State, where he was a beast, racking up over 3,800 rushing yards and earning All-American honors. He came into the league with that rare combo of speed, power, and vision that makes running backs legends. Remember his rookie year? The guy rushed for 1,307 yards, scored 11 touchdowns, and even caught 91 passes for another 721 yards. He was the offensive rookie of the year, no question, and he quickly became the heart and soul of the Giants team that was rebuilding after the glory days of Eli Manning and those 2 Super Bowl wins against the Patriots. Barkley dreamed of being a Giant for life, wearing that blue jersey until he hung up his cleats, maybe even join the likes of Tiki Barber or Otis Anderson in the team's Hall of Fame conversations. But, as we all know, dreams don't always match reality in the cutthroat world of NFL contracts. According to this new documentary about Barkley's life and career, which the New York Post got an early peek at, Saquon felt like the Giants didn't quite return that lifelong love during his 2023 free agent negotiations. He says the team took a hardline stance, making him feel underappreciated, undervalued, like he was just another number on the roster instead of the franchise cornerstone he'd proven to be. Now, Barkley isn't one to shy away from hard work. He's battled through injuries, like that torn ACL in 2020 that sidelined him for most of the season, only to bounce back stronger. But when push came to shove in those talks, he got so frustrated that he actually went to team co-owner John Mara and requested a trade. Yeah, you heard that right. A trade demand from one of the most loyal players in recent Giants history. Mara, who's been with the Giants organization his whole life. His family has owned the team since 1925. Folks, shut that down quick. In the doc, Barkley recalls Mara saying, "I'm not going to do that. That makes no sense for us. To be honest with you, it's not going to be in your long-term best interest to do that. There's no way that I would allow that at this point. You are too valuable to this franchise." Strong words from the owner, right? It shows how much they still saw in Barkley, but apparently, it wasn't enough to bridge the gap. Saquon even thought about going public, airing all the dirty laundry on social media or in interviews. But he held back, hoping something could get worked out with a team that drafted him and believed in him from day one. As negotiations dragged on and kept breaking down, though, Barkley had that light bulb moment. It was time to move on for his own good. And here's the kicker. He claims he would have signed for way less than what he eventually got, like $10 million or $11 million per year, if the Giants had just handled things differently. If he felt in his heart that they were trying their absolute best to make it happen. "I would have signed for $10 million, $11 million per year, if they would have just operated a whole different way," Barkley said in the doc. "If I felt in my heart they tried their best to get it done." Ouch! That stings for Giants fans, doesn't it? It's like hearing your ex say they would have stayed if you just communicated better. Now, let's be fair and impartial here. The Giants didn't just sit on their hands. Reports show they made real efforts, even before his rookie deal expired. They floated offers as high as $13 million per year before the franchise tag deadline. That's not chump change in a league where running backs are often seen as replaceable due to the position's high injury risk and short shelf life. But Barkley wasn't thrilled with the guaranteed money in those deals, the stuff that actually protects players from getting cut and losing out. He turned them down, and when long-term talks fizzled, he signed a modified franchise tag tender for the 2023 season, worth about $10.1 million. It kept him in blue for one more year, where he rushed for 962 yards and 6 touchdowns, plus added 280 receiving yards, proving he was still elite despite the drama. Fast forward to the offseason and the Giants, as we saw in that eye-opening Hard Knock series on HBO, told Barkley they wouldn't tag him again, but wanted the right to match any offer he got on the open market. It was a classy move in theory, giving them a shot to keep him. But as fate would have it, Barkley inked a 3-year, $37.75 million deal with the Eagles, including $26 million guaranteed. Philly, with their stacked roster, think Jalen Hurts slinging passes, A.J. Brown catching bombs, and a defense that's been lights out, was a perfect landing spot. And wouldn't you know it, Barkley helped lead them to their first Super Bowl win since 2017, rushing for over 1,100 yards last season, and adding playoff heroics that Giants fans can only dream about right now. Meanwhile, back in New York, the Giants pivoted smartly with the cap space they saved. They traded for and extended outside linebacker Brian Burns from the Panthers, giving him a 5-year, $141 million deal with $76 million guaranteed. Burns has been a monster on the edge, with 8.5 sacks last season and already notching 3 this year through the early games. He's part of a revamped defense under coordinator Shane Bowen that's showing promise, even if the offense has struggled at times with Daniel Jones at quarterback. Jones, who's been the starter since 2019, has had his ups and downs. That playoff against the Vikings in 2022 was electric. But injuries and turnovers have been his Achilles heel. Without Barkley, the running game has leaned on Devin Singletary and rookie Tyrone Tracy Jr., but it's not the same thunder Saquon brought. Let's zoom out for a second and put this in historical context, because the Giants aren't strangers to tough decisions and heartbreak. This franchise has been around since 1925, one of the NFL's founding teams, playing the Polo Grounds before moving to Yankee Stadium, then Giant Stadium, and now sharing MetLife with the Jets. They've got 4 Super Bowl rings, 2 in the 80s with Lawrence Taylor anchoring that legendary Big Blue Wrecking Crew defense, and 2 more in 2007 and 2011 with Eli Manning pulling off miracles against Tom Brady's Patriots. Remember David Tyree's helmet catch? Or Mario Manningham's sideline grab? Those moments are etched in NFL lore, and Barkley was supposed to be the next chapter in that story. But rivalries run deep in the NFC East. Folks, the Eagles and Giants have been battling since 1933, with Philly holding a slight edge in the all-time series, 93-88-2. Games at Lincoln Financial Field or MetLife are always brutal. Think snowy slugfest, last-second field goals, and trash talk that spills over into the stands. And don't get me started on the Cowboys, that America's team versus New York's finest, with stars like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb always gunning for us. Losing Barkley to the Eagles? That's like salt in the wound, especially after he torched the Giants for 109 yards and 2 scores in their last meeting. It's fueled this rivalry even more, turning Thursday Night Football into must-see TV. To get some deeper insight, I reached out to a few experts, or at least, let's imagine what they'd say based on the buzz. Fictional NFL analyst Mike Lombardi, a former exec with the Patriots and Browns, might chime in. The Giants made a business decision, plain and simple. Running backs depreciate fast, and with Barkley's injury history, tying up that much guaranteed money could have handcuffed their rebuild. But man, losing him to a division rival? That's a tough pill to swallow for the Mara family. Or picture a die-hard Giants fan at a tailgate. Saquon was our guy. He gave everything, jumping over defenders like Superman. If the front office had shown more love, he'd still be here. But hey, Burns is balling out, maybe it's a win-win. And let's not forget the player side. In a made-up post-game quote from Daniel Jones, Saquon and I had some great moments together. That 2022 season where we both stayed healthy was special. Wish things worked out, but that's the league. Now, facing him, it's going to be intense, but we're ready. Or from Brian Dable, the head coach who's brought a no-nonsense approach since 2022. We respect Saquon, but our focus is on our guys. But here's a fun curiosity to lighten things up. Did you know the Giants logo, that lowercase New York, has been around since 1961, inspired by the New York Yankees? or that they've appeared in pop culture everywhere, from The Simpsons episodes to movies like Any Given Sunday. And let's not forget the miracle at the Meadowlands. Wait, that was against the Eagles in 1978, when Herm Edwards scooped up a fumble for TD. History repeats, right? Maybe Thursday brings another iconic moment. Wrapping this up, Giants fans, this documentary is a must-watch. It's raw, it's real, and it reminds us why we love this game. The highs, the lows, the what-ifs. But don't dwell on the past. Get hyped for Thursday Night Football. Tune in, cheer loud from your couch or the stands at MetLife, and let's see if Big Blue can pull off an upset against their old friend turned foe. Who knows, maybe this sparks a new chapter for the Giants. Follow us for more breakdowns, and as always, go Giants. That's the wrap on today's news. Stay passionate, stay informed.